Everybody, Kobosk here. Hey everybody, Kobosk here. And as trying to expand on my channel as a regular thing, True Sorry and I are going to start doing movie reviews. And unfortunately, I'm actually on my way to go watch a movie right now. It's a sort of last minute, or is a last minute thing, so I do apologize. I'm meant to record this stuff at home. What I'm going to do is I am going to do a pre-review of what I'm going to watch, what I know, what I think of the movie before I watch it. And then afterwards, then I'll do another review, continuing on this video. I'll stop the recording and then start it back up again with a review with my final thoughts and everything of the movie. I will give a basic plot line of the movie, and then after that, I will probably go into more detail about the movie and probably even give off spoilers and stuff like that. So, but you will be warned ahead of time before any of that happens. So, if you're one of the people who do not want to watch spoilers or listen to them, you can stop the video at that point. So, right now, I am on my way to go watch Angry Birds 2. There's an early bird showing. So I'm heading over there to watch that right now. The first movie was funny. There really wasn't a whole lot to the story, but I guess that is kind of expected. It is a movie based off of a mobile game that has really no story other than shooting birds out of a slingshot at a bunch of pigs and trying to knock down their houses made out of sticks and stones and whatever else have you. And so they just kind of create a plot for that movie. And in that first one, if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, just as a recap, basically the plot was that these pigs came to the bird island to steal their eggs and then to eat them. And then the birds had to go to the pig island to rescue their eggs. So the second movie, I'm not sure what the plot is. I haven't even seen the preview for it. I knew that it was coming out, and so I found out that it was showing today. So I am on my way right after work, just gonna go straight to the movie. Anyway, I digress. I do apologize about the solar flare behind me there. The sun is at my back, and there's nothing I can really do about that. Now the sun is in my eyes. Anyway, so okay, back to the movie. So Angry Birds, as far as I understand it, Angry Birds, because it's catered towards kids, young adults, based off of a mobile game. I don't expect the movie to be very complicated in its plot or even its dialogue, if it even has a lot of script. The first one did have a lot of slapstick comedy, so I expect there's going to be a lot more of that this go around as well. There's just going to be a lot of pain and suffering with the birds and whoever else that they're fighting against, and a bunch of jokes for adults, because we got to watch it because because we're taking our kids there, so they got to entertain us at the same time as the children. So the children will probably enjoy more of the slapstick type of comedy. Oh, he fell off his bike. That's funny. He got hurt. And then the adults will get, the subtle humor that they'll throw in there, of course. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then I will record the rest of this video back home, where there's probably a lot less noise than me recording this in the car. So I do apologize ahead of time for any audio or video errors in recording this. Like I said, this was very, very last minute. I just got home and found out that this movie was playing, so I left as quickly as I could so I can get to the movie on time. Alright guys, we'll see you in just a bit. Hey everybody, Kobosk here, and I'm back. Just finished watching the movie, and it is a family movie. So like I was saying before, as I suspected, there's some comedy in there, thrown at the adults, some slapstick comedy thrown for the kids, to kind of make everyone laugh. There is some crude language in there, and in the disclaimer at the bottom it says crude language or rude language. That's really my only gripe, and I don't want to spoil it for you this early, but I do want to put it out there as a warning. If you don't approve of that kind of language, for your kids, if you're taking your kids, then you might want to skip this movie. There's actually only one word in there that's a swear word, and it's actually said by a baby bird, and I forget the word, but I don't want to repeat it here in the video just for the sake, in case there are families watching this video. But I kind of find it annoying that they would do that. They're okay with having a baby bird swear, but they're not okay with another bird saying God. And they have a run-on joke, a running joke, where they have one bird going, "Oh my God," and they end it right there. They don't say the D at the end and say the full word and say God. Like, they won't say it, which I find kind of really weird, that you're not okay with saying God, but you're okay with a baby bird swearing. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention is another thing I didn't, well, not that I didn't like it, just something for people who, taking their kids and that kind of thing. There are quite a few times where they show the pig's butt, their bare butt. I mean, they're not wearing pants. I mean, they are animals, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. But the pigs, their butts are humanized, so I mean, they look like a butt, and they are shown in scenes where they're bent over, full on butt and all that. No genitalia or anything like that. But I just wanted to let you guys know and be aware that there is at least 3 times that I can remember where they showed the pig's butt. I mean, it's funny, but if that's something you don't want your little kids to see, something that's something you might want to keep in mind. I mean, it is a cartoon, so. But anyway, other than that, it was a pretty good movie. That aside. It was pretty funny. The main storyline basically is that the birds and the pigs are pranking each other back and forth from one island to the other, and they discover a third island that starts attacking both the pig and bird island. And so they band together to stop this third group, and I don't want to spoil who, but they band together to try and stop this other island from destroying them. And it's kind of like a Mission Impossible kind of thing, where they get a couple of the birds. They've got the big black one, the bomb, the yellow guy. I'm sorry, blanking on his name, but he's really fast and speedy. The one's like the yellow guy's long beak looks kind of like a banana. And then there's who else is in there? Red, of course. He's the main character. And then they have a fourth bird. Sorry, female character they introduced to the group. And then, of course, they have two pigs: the leader of the pigs and one of the pig's sidekick, a female pig. And they all group together, and they have actually a third scientist pig who kind of joins in midway through the movie as they try to gather their team. The eagle's in there as well, and he joins the group, sort of. And anyway, that's the whole premise of the movie. And of course, happy ending. They stop the third island, of course. I probably shouldn't have said that. That's probably a spoiler, isn't it? Okay. So that's pretty much the basics for the movie. I would definitely recommend seeing it with the family. I would probably rate it out of 10 stars. I would probably give it somewhere around a 6. I mean, it's not your summer blockbuster movie by any means. It certainly doesn't bring anything to the table. It's your very typical child story. And of course, I mean, again, it is being directed towards family, so keep that in mind. Alright, on to the spoilers. If you do not want to hear any of the spoilers or anything like that, I'll go over a little bit of it. Go ahead and stop now. Go watch your movie. Go enjoy. Hope to see you come back. Let us know what you thought of the movie. Let us know what down comments below. All that fun stuff. So, the typical Hollywood thing is to throw in a love story in here. Red is a loner, and they introduce you into the love interest pretty early on in the show. It is that typical, I don't like you, you don't like me, we have nothing in common, and then they get swooped up into something, being teamed up together, and then they find commonality, and then they end up falling in love. You pretty much know who it is. After hearing that and you watch the movie, you'll know exactly who it is. And it's the only female bird in the group, in the team. So there is that. They do kind of have a little side story with the 3 little hatchlings that were saved from, I guess, the eggs that were saved in the first movie. So there's 3 of them hatched, and they're out playing on the beach, and one of them decides to go and bring their baby brother and sister, these 3 little eggs, out onto the beach, and they get swept away. And so the little 3 birds go out and try and rescue these 3 eggs. As a little side story, it's kind of cute and kind of funny at the same time.
So the birds and the pigs are offering a truce, and of course Red doesn't believe them, or doesn't want to believe that they want to have a truce, because he wants to. Um, he's afraid that people won't like him anymore, you know, because he's no longer needed. Because now everything's peaceful and all that, and they loved him because he was the hero and he was always saving the day and fighting back with the pigs as they went back and forth. But now that there's a truce, there's no longer that threat, and so now he feels inadequate, or he thinks that people are gonna not like him, or care about him or anything like that. So he kind of doesn't want the truce to end, and so the leader of the pigs decides to come over to the Bird Island, and he invades uh, Red's house, just to get to talk to him. He's like, oh, we really need to talk, and then he shows him some pictures and stuff like that of the third island, which is Eagle Island. They're being attacked by eagles that are stuck on which makes no sense, but they're stuck on an island of ice. These are birds that can fly. They can fly anywhere. They can fly to another island, and yet for some reason they're stuck on this island. Um, but the idea is that the leader of the Eagles doesn't want to live on this ice island anymore. They want to live on a tropical island and live in the sun and stuff like that. So their plan is to wipe out the inhabitants of these two islands and then convert them into like some big resort. Um, it's a kids movie, but it's just kind of like, well, why can't they just fly to somewhere else? Um, and the little baby birds, they get when they're trying to rescue these eggs, they get to the eggs like right away, and they're like, oh, that was too easy. And they're like, what do you mean that was too easy? Well, like typically when a situation like this and the result, or they're able to accomplish what they're trying to do really quickly without any difficulty, something bad happens, and boom, something bad happens, and they're like that. And it's just like, oh my goodness. And the eggs get stuck in a cloud. Like they're just like sitting on a cloud in the sky, and it's not like the cloud is hiding anything or obstructing anything. They're just sitting on a cloud. No sense whatsoever. Again, it's a kids movie, I know, but really. And then they're like, "Oh, I have an idea," and they uh, started giving one bird CPR, like blowing up the bird like a balloon, and then somehow able to float, and they were able to get up to the eggs, which I, and then they go into outer space because they just keep going up, and end up hitting a satellite, and the satellite knocks them like an actual satellite, like satellites we have, but it knocks them back down into the Earth. They rescue the eggs, and they land on a little tiny island with one little palm tree, and the eggs are on top of a snake, and they're like, "Oh no, as if they know what the snake is, because they're on a bird island with nothing else but birds, but somehow these baby birds know what a snake is." But the camera zooms back, and you don't see nothing, and all you hear is like punching and kicking, and like all these like combat sound effects. And the little birds come out of the grass and go, "Oh, that got dark." And they're all wearing like snake boot skin and snake belt and snake cowboy hat and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. And they take the eggs back. And there's a bit of a twist to it at the end. I don't want to spoil that for you guys. It's kind of funny. And then So anyway, back to the main storyline. The birds, they figure out how to get into the island. They create like a fake costume, eagle costume, and they get inside the costume and sneak onto the island, get into this secret base with a super powerful weapon that the eagles are using to bombard the islands with lava bombs, and they're trying to stop this thing. And of course, that's where like all the action is and stuff like that. It's quite funny. Um, you know, they destroy the machine, or they try to destroy the machine, but then they are unable to destroy the machine. And then the eagle from Eagle Mountain comes and starts talking to the eagle leader. It turns out that's his like ex girlfriend, ex fiance, who he ran out on, and she's kind of taking out her revenge on Eagle Mountain because she knows that's where he's hiding. I'm not sure how they figure that, but and so he kind of she throws a truth bomb on him, and he ends up proving to be a good person, and they end up falling in love again, and they end up saving Eagle Island, or I mean, they end up saving all the islands from this eagle's destruction from this bad eagle, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And they go back to the island. Everyone's happy. There's a big wedding, and they're congratulating everyone and stuff like that. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. The Of course, Red and the other bird, they end up falling in love. They're talking it out and everything, having like a private moment. And I forgot to mention the yellow bird. This is the yellow bird's sister, and every time circumstances happen and they end up holding hands or something like that, the yellow bird's like, "That's my sister." What are you doing? Kind of thing. It's like, nothing. We're not doing anything. It's just they happen to be like they crash land or something like that, and they land on top of each other. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing." So it's kind of funny. And then of course he crashes their little individual little party that they're doing away from the big wedding party. They're just talking, and he shows up again. And that's pretty much it for the movie. So it was a good movie overall. It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. If you guys watch the movie, or if you guys like this review, or have any critiques for my reviews, have any suggestions, let me know. Comment below. I do plan on doing some more of these with True Story. Unfortunately, she wasn't feeling well enough to go with me on this first adventure, so I went solo. But she will be doing reviews with me as well, and giving her added critiques to the movies. So I really look forward to that. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. All that fun stuff. Stay tuned for future reviews. Thank you, and have a good night. Thank goodness for an editor. I can delete this stuff out of here.